Hey, this is going to be an update on my crusade against getting this GoPro roll change. So, first and foremost, I wrote Eric from AMA and I asked him for the dude's email. So, this is the dude's email. Okay, right here. Okay. With that said, here's some background so you're armed with good information if you write this guy. All right, because there are some sensitivities that come along with this. So, like I said yesterday, it snowed all day long here yesterday, and besides picking up my kid, going, doing work or whatever, I did a lot of research into this so I could put together like a non-Philadelphia F-bomb laden defense against this rule. Okay, so the reason that this rule is being instituted is a kid got killed. Okay, now that's what I think it is. I have no evidence to say that's definitely why, but through my research yesterday, I was able to find only two incidences. Well, actually one incident, and then Facebook told me the other one. But there was some racer, famous racer. I'm not into following racers. I think it was Schumacher. And he was skiing, and he had a GoPro on his helmet, and it doesn't tell you how it was mounted, and they didn't blame the GoPro for him, fucking himself up. His kid did. So in an interview, it said, basically, he said, like, oh, the GoPro helped contribute to the failure of the helmet. It doesn't say that the dude, because from my sneaky suspicion is that he screwed the mount into the helmet. The other instance is from actually someone sent me a screenshot of the mother of the kid. Someone lost a kid, and he was at a motocross track, and he flew off the bike, which is what I alluded to yesterday without even having to hear about this. And the mount pierced the helmet. I don't know any details other than that, right? And then, it's when anytime a kid gets hurt, right? You can't say anything because, right away it's like you're being insensitive to the injury or the death, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. But applying logic to tragedy is how we come out of it better for it, right? It's not just like, well, the GoPro mount was on the helmet, therefore you don't know anything about how the kid landed. You don't know anything about how old the helmet or what condition the helmet was in. You don't know anything about how it was mounted, if it had a metal shank. I've seen metal GoPro mounts, so and again, I'm not taking anything away from this tragedy or whatever, but statistically speaking, there has to be some common sense applied to this while also recognizing finding our efficiencies with going forward with racing when it comes to GoPro. Okay, so what I can tell you is that when I used to drag race, and I point over there because my drag car is in the next room, right? But when I used to drag race, every year we had to buy a new helmet, right? And I got flamed yesterday because I said, anytime, safety ruins, hobbies and sports. But I mean, have you seen the NFL lately? You can't blindside somebody. You can't fucking, what do they call it? Horse collar somebody. It's like, why don't you just put a flag on the quarterback at this point? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. There's an associated risk that goes with the type of racing that we do. You assume that risk. You assume you can't stop people from getting struck by lightning. It happens like 30,000 times a year. So anyway, my point is that when I used to drag race, every year you had to buy a new helmet. You had to have DOT number on it, whatever it was. But so I've been racing since 2017. It's 2020. I have 3 helmets. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do is when you write to AMA, if you want to take that time out of your day, I'm going over this again. There are 3 types of mounts that do nothing to take away from the performance of the helmet. The first one is the Pro Shot. It's Velcroed on. Okay. This is my helmet for this year. Okay. And I'm going to buy a Liat for next year, right? This is the second type, right? Now, I have this zip tied on here. It ain't going anywhere, but it'll break if it needs to. And it's not the zip tie that'll break because they'll tell you, the zip tie's not going to break. The mount will actually break. If I twist this off, it's going to break. It's cheap plastic, right? I've had them ripped off when I've gone through when I've been, you know, like at a bottleneck and I yee through, you know, the few times that I do that. Anyway, so this is the type, it's the Amazon mount, you use zip ties and it'll break off as well. Now the third one is the sketchiest as far as losing your GoPro. But this is that clip mount I was telling you about yesterday. I've never used this in a race because quite frankly, I've been a little worried about using it. But it clips on, okay? So that's how that goes. And the reason I got this is because when I try to throw like my GoPros on pros and stuff like that, if they bring a helmet, I'm out of mount. So this one, I just, you know, it just makes my life a lot easier. Anyway, but as you can see, if you have a bad day, it's gonna fly right off, you know. So word what you say. If you do write AMA, word what you say tactfully. You know, keep in mind that somebody was killed. One person was killed, and then you're also dealing with a grieving mother, right? So you don't want to make anybody angry. You know what I mean? I got two kids. Well, I got 1.5. The other one's on its way. So I got a little girl. I plan on getting her into ATV racing if she wants to or whatever. But you know, tell them what the problem is. Tell them why it's dumb. Tell them that there are alternatives out there, and then, you know, say like, look, we're all willing to, you know, deal with the fact that, you know, on top of the helmet is, you know, not acceptable. But at the minimum, you know, you could do the chin mount. Now, is it going to work? I don't know. I don't know what kind of bureaucracy forced this to happen. You know, I don't have any clue. But the other alternative is going to be that people are going to start putting them on their chest. So, you know, the GoPro can go through a helmet, but it can't go through your chest. You know, especially if you have you know, if I'm forced to wear a chest mount, I'm going to get a gimbal. You know what I mean? And honestly, like my chest has hit, I've scorpion tailed over those bars more than I've hit my head. So where's the logic in that? You know what I mean? I'm probably fucking myself by saying this stupid shit because they're going to think that's the next one. You know what I mean? But you know, for anybody watching this who's like against the chin rule, or, you know, another thing too is listen, if you're 65 fucking years old and you don't ride, don't get on Facebook and tell us that we're all fucking babies, okay? Sit in your fucking, you know, on the front porch and watch our videos while we're out there doing shit, or some of these photographers that come out there and then take photos and then tell us how to fucking, you know, thank God for Ken Hill, because Ken Hill's like, this is fucking stupid. And Ken Hill probably has a lot of influence with this stuff. But let me tell you a couple of things. Number one is putting a mount on the vehicle don't work. It doesn't work, not unless you have a gimbal, because it shakes. The vibration goes through the whole chassis. Okay? Having it on your chest doesn't work, and I'll tell you why. Because not all of us are the same size. Where my chest is different than everybody else. And generally, these fucking chest protectors are like extra large and infant. So my fat ass, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? My bars, not everyone's bar height's the same. So then you're gonna have to, you know, you have that to figure out. On top of the fact is the 4x4s have more exhaust noise than, you know, some of the sport quads. So I got to deal with, you know, you can't hear anything I'm saying. You can't hear anything anyone else is saying. There's a lot more wind noise. There's noise, vibration, harshness that's going to be coming through. Okay, it's not an answer to the problem. It works on the chin. That's it. You know, like everyone's bars are different. Everyone's chest height's different. Everyone's in that, how they ride's different. All this other kind of stuff. So these guys saying that my chest mount works just fine, I appreciate the input, and good for you that it works for you, but it doesn't work for all of us. So anyway, just, you know, and anybody who doesn't ride, just shut the fuck up, okay? Don't start with this, like, don't go on some crusade that, you know, you're out there to protect everyone from themselves. Look, we all get on the bike, we all assume the risk. Let us just leave us alone. You know what I mean? Go get into competitive fucking crocheting or some shit like that. Or take your camera and shut your mouth. Okay? You're out there taking pictures of us. You know, that's why you guys sit there we're at every jump. So you can watch us jump. And you sure as shit don't turn the camera away anytime any of us wreck. So I don't want to hear it, okay? Again, I'm done. Thanks for watching.